As much as Ian hated working at Millie's Rentals, he had to admit to himself that the building had a certain captivating ugliness about it. It was oddly shaped, reminiscent of a round roof barn, but instead of a gradual curve, the roof came down in short angles while maintaining a flat top, not unlike the upper half of a stop sign. At one point, the building had been painted faint yellow, but years of neglect had allowed the sun to bleach its hue to a near featureless white, pockmarked by chips in the coat. The sign for the building itself, which hung in the angled arch at the top, was weather-beaten and had been the target of many a delinquent's thrown rock. If not for its time and history spent in the town, most would assume the building was called Millrells. Adorning its windows were faded posters of blockbuster films and actors that had long since passed their cultural relevance. They were plastered from top to bottom, with barely a seam of clear glass left uncovered. A scrutinizing eye would be able to stop and identify each individual film, but the passerby could only register a mural of nostalgia. Faces of actors melded with one another, with little attention paid toward composition or coherency. A surreal advertisement for a film that never existed. In Ian's mind, the place was perfectly pitiful. The kind of washed-up, past its prime, mom-and-pop store that clings to life in spite of logic. He had ample time every day to ponder the building's tragic existence, as it had become a ritual for him to stop and stare at Millie's before he would clock in or return from lunch. It had begun as a means for him to steady his nerves and prepare himself for the coming shift ahead, but his meditations wore thin and wound up giving way to wasting time with thoughts of theoretical people and how they would see the store. Would they, too, wonder just how long the store would have to last? Or would they simply ask themselves if it isn't just an all-too-obvious front for drugs?